conversation about work, leadership, relationships, resilience, family, community, and the complicated realities of modern life. This is The High Road with Michelle Comer.
Good morning and welcome to The High Road with Michelle Comer. If you tune in regularly, you may notice something different today. Michelle's off doing that pesky thing called her day job. So I'm Liz, and for reasons we all may come to question before this hour is over, she's handed me over the live microphone. So here we are. This is a lifestyle show. On The High Road, we talk about the things, all of the things, really. And I should tell you right away, I'm not going to try and be Michelle. I'm much more qualified to be myself, so that's the role I'll be playing today. Come to think of it, I might be uniquely qualified to host this show because I'm exactly who this show is for. I'm a woman, I have a career, I have a family, and a life that doesn't always cooperate. I'm still figuring things out. I have questions, I have opinions. I occasionally have opinions before I have all of the information. No one does that, right? And I have a particular gift. Yeah. Or a character flaw, depending on who you ask, for saying the thing that everyone in the room is thinking out loud. My filter is quite limited. But I try to lead with kindness. I'm very curious about people. I ask all of the questions. I don't take myself very seriously. I firmly believe we could all stand to laugh at ourselves a little bit more. And most importantly, I think the best conversations happen when we stop trying to sound impressive and start being perfect, which makes today's guests perfect. I have Jody Saatkunam and Michelle Denarsky here with me, and they are incredibly accomplished women. But today, I don't really care about their resumes. Sorry, ladies. I want the stuff behind the resumes. We're going to talk about what do you know now that you wish you knew earlier. What have you screwed up? That could be a good one. What did you? Yes, many things. All of us.
Where do we start?
Right? What did you spend years worrying about that turned out not to even matter, that you probably lost sleep over and stressed about? And still do. Maybe we can put those to sleep. When you've asked for more, walked away, changed your mind, or wondered, what in the hell are you doing? So I'm going to talk about their background. Michelle is an employment attorney with ABST Law, where she advises employers on everything from day-to-day HR issues to complex employment litigation, workplace investigations, compliance, and organizational risk. She spends her career helping leaders navigate difficult people decisions before they become problems. And Jody is a CPA, an entrepreneur, an investor, and founder of Level Up Investments. After a distinguished executive career in banking and corporate finance, she now invests in businesses and multifamily real estate while helping founders and business owners grow, scale, and create long-term wealth. She's also involved with the national venture capital ecosystem through Level Up Ventures, a Hearst-backed investment platform that invests in high-growth, early-stage companies led by founders who have historically faced barriers to accessing capital. Her work gives a unique perspective on leadership, investing, innovation, and what separates companies that survive from those that truly scale. You two are impressive ladies. And I would like to mention, we were going to have Christy Dower today, who she's the CEO of the North Dakota Women's Business Center. But she's going through some things personally, and I'm going to let Michelle give a little update on that. She could use our thoughts right now.
She can use our thoughts and prayers, and she certainly gave us the ability to share this with you. Her husband, Joe, had headaches and refused to go in, and she talked him into it, drug him in 2 days ago. He has a brain tumor that is currently being removed as we speak. So please send your prayers to Joe, to Christy and her family. And she wanted to raise awareness. If you have pain or a change in personality, this started with a change in personality, check it out. Just check it out. They went to walk-in, and walk-in immediately got them the care they needed, got the brain scan they needed, found this out, and they're getting immediate care today as we speak. So prayers out to Joe and Christy and the family, and hopefully everything goes well for them.
Yes, all the positive thoughts. Wasn't expecting that today. So I'll tell you about myself. I'm a dietitian by background. I like to spend my days helping people think differently about health and wellness with a healthy respect for the fact that real life rarely looks textbook. And I think we can all agree on that. So we're going to ask all of the questions today that everybody wants answered. And since Michelle isn't here to stop me, I'll just keep on rambling questions at you two. So here's what we'll start with. I'm just going to kick it off with one of these questions. What gets better with age that you didn't expect because no one talks about it?
Wow, good question. So let's start with a shout out to Dolly Parton.
Yes.
Yes.
Talking about getting better with age.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, she is an idol. She is someone who definitely is the picture of getting better with age, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And everything she did for so many people.
Yep.
Just giving back
Yes.
and pouring into people.
Such a good person.
Yeah. Leaving a
Yes.
legacy
Yep.
and continuing to do that.
And
Yeah,
I just heard this
absolutely.
morning that she left a song in a time capsule. Did either of you see this?
Yes.
No.
And it's not to be
really?
released until 2045 when she'd be turning 100.
Yep.
And she said it,
What?
yes. And she said it's a really good song. And it's kind of sounded like maybe she regretted a little bit putting that time limit on it. But
Right? Can
Yeah.
you imagine? 20 years from now, we'll be able to hear it.
Wow.
then we'll know.
Still making an impact.
I know. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, to answer your question, right? What do I know now? Well, I think as women, we tend to be perhaps maybe insecure as we're
Mhm.
younger, right? And as
Yes.
we develop and as we
Mhm.
get older and as we have experiences, and that's the hard part. Many of our experiences are incredibly painful, especially as business women.
Absolutely.
And because of that, is that a weakness or is that a growth opportunity, right? And so if we internalize, it's a weakness. If we look positive, it's a growth opportunity. And so, I can say now as I sit here and I've been in the practice for 31 years, there were lots of incredibly painful steps along the way. But I look back and I say for me, it's thick skin. It gives me thick skin.
And I don't think I have a thick skin. So
Mhm.
that's something that I think comes with age too, because I know that it is getting thicker as I get older.
Right?
But
Yeah.
it's hard
And-
sometimes.
And having the ability to, I know when I was younger, something would happen and I was fully in everything that was happening. And it felt like it impacted me much more than today, where something major happens and I have the ability to step back and say, okay, this is just one more thing. Life is fine. This is one small piece of life, and it doesn't have to consume all of my thoughts and my decisions. And
Right?
I think just being able to step out of that and look at it for what it actually is, where when I was younger, didn't have that ability, was more emotional around the scenario and what
You're
was happening.
vested and you internalize it.
Yes.
And
yes.
I had gone, and this was probably 10 years ago. I went to, it was a Sanford seminar, a women's seminar, and they put you together. So you have an older woman, which was me, and yet you have, and you have a younger gal.
Mhm.
And they put you together, and you talk about strengths and weaknesses. And what was a wake-up call for me is her weakness was insecurity. My weakness, this was 10 years ago, was insecurity. And I looked at her and I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm 30 years older than her and I still say insecurity. And that's when I just Michelle, talk to myself and said,
Yeah.
put your big girl
Right.
panties on and stop being so who cares what people think,
Right.
right? You do the best you can with what you have at the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you grow with it. And I think if we can stop being a prisoner of our own mind and think outside and just say, I'm doing the best I can with what I have, then, right, there's not much more you can do.
Right. And we tend to be our hardest critics.
100%.
Where-
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I have people speaking into me all of the time, and the things that they see and the things that they say to me, I'm like, but really?
I know.
Are you sure? And they're not wrong. I think we just look at ourselves differently. And I had someone tell me, I was asking him a question like, why did you make that decision about me, right? And they said, Jody, winners win. And it honestly took me a year and a half to process that and go, like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
right? I was like, what does that even mean?
What does that mean?
Winners win.
And-
Do you know what? Let's pause for a second for a break, and we're going to come back to what that means.
Yeah.
So
All right.
stay on the edge of your seat, and we will be right back. All right. We are back with my friends Michelle and Jody, a couple of, really powerful women in business. And before the break, Jody just told us somebody told her once, winners win. And we want her to tell us more about that because we like it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was talking with one of my investors, and after we had purchased the property and closed on it, months later, I had asked him, because I had known him for a while. He did work on our properties in the past, and I asked him, why did you invest with me? And his response was, winners win. And I'm sitting there thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what this actually means. Sounds like a cool phrase.
It sounds convincing.
It does, right? And so I just tucked it back in the back of my mind and went along with life. And then I picked up Olympic weightlifting and competing. And about a year into that, I'm at the Arnold in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm competing. And I ended up bringing home gold. And I went, winners win came back into my mind. And I was like, now this is fascinating.
Yeah.
So then I really just spent time digging into that. And I was like, my interpretation is it's really a mindset in how you approach anything in life. And winners find a way to win at whatever they're doing. And I see so many people, both of you are examples of that here today, where you figure things out.
Yeah.
Something happens with the kids, something happens at work. We just figure out how to navigate it and end up in a position that is meaningful and works out for us. And so, that comment of winners win was kind of like, oh, okay, now it makes sense after I just sat in that for a while.
And it just kind of sets the stage. Winners win. There's no argument to it, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when you have that type of a mindset about yourself, it also makes it easier to take on new things, because you look back at your patterns and you go, okay, when I started in my career, I didn't really know anything.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in a boardroom with stacks of files, looking across to the other team member in the room, and I'm like, what did we get ourselves into?
Yeah.
But you learn. And then once you solve that, then you're like, okay, I need another challenge. And then you take on the next role and the next role. And you just continue throughout your career to navigate different roles, navigate different industries, and figure it out really your whole entire life.
You do. And I am a big fan of fake it till you make it. And
100%.
didn't realize
Yes.
that's literally what people are doing day to day, even if they've been there a long time. Which brings me to a point. There was a study done, the National Institute on Aging. They studied more than 150,000 women and found that the most optimistic women lived, on average, about 4 years longer than the least optimistic. So our mindset is huge. And I, for one, am very pessimistic. My husband just told me this the other day. But I think that just really prepares me for being ready for the worst thing that could happen. And I'm never going to be upset, because I was planning for it to happen. And when it didn't, then that's all great. But I think that I need to maybe look on the bright side occasionally. So I don't know. And that could be a gift of getting older too. We just get better at deciding what deserves our energy, what does not. So I have another question for you. What's an opinion you have now that might have gotten you in trouble 10 years ago?
An opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a good one.
I know.
That's a good one. I thought 10 years ago should have known everything. Know everything, right?
Truth.
And now I am not afraid to say, you know what, that's a great question. I don't know, but let me look into it.
And that's huge, being able to admit you don't know the answer.
Correct.
But I can find out.
Right. Because it's not a sign of weakness.
No.
And that goes back to the mindset.
Yes.
Winners win, right?
Yep.
Or, be truthful, be honest. People appreciate that better. Even when you make a mistake. You know, that was always the big thing too. If you make a mistake, you can cover it up unless you're a doctor.
Right.
You can cover it up for the most part, right? But the reality is you gain so much more respect and credibility and trust. Trust is huge. If you just say, hey, you know what? I screwed up. I made a mistake. Let me fix this. This is what I did, but I'm going to fix it. And guaranteed, your clients, your friends, your family members are going to be like, oh, they might not be happy, but they're going to be like, I appreciate the honesty.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And especially if you're a leader, making that okay, that I'm not perfect. I screwed up and I'm going to own it. And that's really all it takes sometimes.
Right. 100%.
It's
and
being transparent and human. I mean, we all screw up. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO or you're an entry-level role. We're all screwing up. And as a leader, when we can own that, it makes it acceptable for others to make mistakes. And that's how, excuse me, my allergies are just nutty these days.
They're
just
bad.
the season.
Yeah, but when it's okay to make mistakes, that's how the company grows. That's how we all get better together. And there's that psychological safety that in that, we can make mistakes. Like one thing I tell my kids is, if you're not making mistakes daily, you are losing. Because the only way you grow and learn is if you're making mistakes. Same in business.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. They are all learning opportunities, personally and professionally. The other thing I learned was, and I tell my kids this, don't judge. You don't know their story.
Yep.
So someone may be rude. Someone may have said something that hurts your feelings or something that you disagree with. And you can agree to disagree. I say that every day. Let's agree to disagree, but where do we get to meet that resolution? My goal is to certainly resolve matters, not to create more matters.
Well, yeah. And we don't know what people are going through on their day-to-day. Are they hiding some stress, something that's going on? So we all just have to have a little bit of grace with each other. And
100%.
I want people to have grace with me, so I better be willing to give that back out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the other thing we talked about was it's not about you, right?
We talked about that on break.
During break.
Yep.
And that's, I think, the most difficult trait that I have been trying to work on. So somebody will say something and I will take it personally.
I'm really good at that. Yep.
I mean, that hurt. That hurt. And I'll even say that sometimes. I'll say, ouch, that hurt. And then somebody else will be like, well, what hurt? And I'm like, what you said.
Yeah.
And they're like, why did that hurt you? And again, it's like, why am I taking things so personally? It's not about me, right? And we each need to just recognize that. It's not about us. Everybody's thinking about their self, right? So know that it's not about you and be able to, process more from an independent than that personal emotion, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Easier said than done. But
oh my gosh, it's so hard. Even that mindset. Think about that. Like you said, I love your mindset of winners win. It is so easy to be a pessimist. It's easy to be negative. Why is it so hard to be positive?
We have talked about this before on this show. I don't know. You could be having a really great day and one minor thing goes wrong and now your day is ruined.
That's the focus, right? It's easier to do that than to focus. And so every day, and I really try to affirmatively do this every day, I try to train my brain to think like a champion, right? Think like a winner. Winners win. Yeah. Just think positive, focus on the positive, focus on, the good things.
Yes.
And I know like Michelle was really good about when she'd start the show off and she'd say, oh, let's talk about something positive.
Yes.
Because the news is doom and gloom.
Doom and gloom. Do you do 3 good things? Have you heard of 3 good things?
Yes.
That's awesome. That's 3 good things that happen to you in the day, and they can be minor, they can be huge, but it really can change. There's science. It can shift your outlook in like 4 weeks if you do this every single day.
Yeah,
So
it's hard.
It is hard.
There's
It
no
is.
way I could
It
do
is
it
hard,
that
but
long
it
for
could
every day.
be, it could be like, I didn't have to wash my hair today. That is a win.
I love that.
And with that, you are listening to The High Road with Michelle Comer, who is missing from the building. So we're partying on our own today. We will be back with a little finish the sentence. All right, we're back with a couple of powerful women, and we're going to play a little game called Finish the Sentence. And I'm surprising these two with this game, so that's fun for me and not so much for them. All right, finish the sentence. A good friend always. Jody.
All right. Picks you up when you're having a tough day.
Truth.
Listens, non-judgmental, and just helps you work through that.
Yep. Michelle?
Lets you vent
Yep.
and doesn't tell you what to do.
No, exactly.
Just lets you vent.
And I think,
Yeah.
could you guys say that you have a 2 a.m. friend? You know what a 2 a.m. friend is?
Absolutely.
Somebody will call at 2 a.m. and you know that they'll answer.
Yep.
And life is better if you've got one of those. Do you each have one?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
same.
Yeah.
And I hope that I'm somebody's 2 a.m. friend because
Great.
I will always answer. All right, a good friend never. Michelle will make you go first.
Oh, that's a little bit tougher. A good friend will never judge you.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping my good
Yeah.
friends aren't judging
Yeah.
me. Jody, what about you?
I mean, they're probably always judging.
Well, that is
me,
probably
but-
true. Or are they thinking about themselves?
Right, exactly.
They are. They are.
I would say a good friend never inhibits your personal growth
Yeah.
and what you're chasing after. Sometimes you can see where people may get jealous and may try to hold you back and not want you to move into the next career, the next opportunity.
Yeah.
And so good friends don't. They're supportive and encouraging you to go after what it is your dreams are.
I love it. Good
That's
answers.
good.
All right.
That's
This one's, well, it's hard, I think. Life is too short to Jody, Michelle.
Oh,
wants to
well,
go?
okay. Life is too short to worry, right? But the reality is, how do you not worry?
Exactly. I'm really good at that too.
Right?
I'm really good at worrying.
And you know what? The older you get, it doesn't get any better.
That's great to hear.
So I had lunch with my assistant who just retired after 40 years. And I said, has the weight been lifted? Like, do your shoulders feel lighter? And she said, okay, the work weight has been lifted. She goes, but you know what? I filled my worry with retirement worry. And I said, what's retirement worry?
Yeah.
And it's a different worry. It's the, what am I going to do today? Where's my purpose? What, who needs me?
I have heard that is a struggle for
Yes.
people retiring. And some people kind of retire, like go down to part-time first to soften the blow or find, a job. My mom retired and then she started working at Hallmark because she liked, rearranging the
Oh,
cards, like a
fun
fun
job.
job. Yeah.
Fun job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But right, easier said than done.
Yeah.
Right? Life is too short to worry, but how do we not worry? Like,
Exactly.
give me that secret.
Yep.
Yeah, that's tough. I would say life is too short not to experience cultures and travel the world and experience good food.
Yes. And you're living that starting tomorrow.
Yeah, flying to Japan.
I love it.
And
to see your son.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be great. I love, I have no idea what the food's going to be like, but
Well, and
our
even-
plan is we're going to try it all.
I just can't imagine
I'm
the language barrier.
It's going to be interesting.
Oh, I'm so
Can't wait
jealous.
to have you report back.
I always say life is too short. There's so much world to see and experience that I feel like my life
Yes.
is too short to see and experience it all. So you definitely, I love your zest for adventure.
Yeah, and you learn so much through other people in different cultures and how they look at the world that is always just really fascinating. Just even as I was doing some research on Japan to understand their culture, so different than ours. I mean, you can't even sneeze around other people.
What?
I would not have expected that.
What do you do if you have to sneeze in public?
You run out of the room and get away from people. It's very taboo.
Has it always been that way or just since COVID?
Apparently.
That's crazy
Yeah.
because I feel like sneezes really sneak up on me quite often.
I know.
Right. Yes. So just little things.
Just
And-
another thing to worry
and I'm
about.
sure there's something. I'm sure there's something behind that, right?
Right.
But I'll
I
have
hope you
dig
don't
into
have to
that.
find out what happens.
God, I
if it-
love a
Right.
good old loud sneeze.
Mhm.
Only when you're in private, though.
Right.
Same, but sometimes mine are loud all the time.
Don't
Okay.
put-
Off air, we've kind of talked about LinkedIn a little bit, which is oddly enough a little topic I'd like to get into. The stuff that we don't put on LinkedIn. Are you guys on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I am too,
Yep.
but I'm not like in it every day. But so we've spent the first half of this show sounding reasonably wise and well adjusted. So I think it's time to clear that misconception up. I want to hear about some failures. Let's talk about a professional failure that has ultimately helped you.
Wow.
I know.
Well, we need to define failure, right? Failure is in the eyes of the beholder.
That's very true.
And so, for me, a professional failure obviously would be a case that I have lost,
Okay, yeah.
right? And so I have learned that I took on a case, and the case was, I'll be very general about it, but it was a case that I felt very compassionate about. And it was for a farmer. I used to do a fair amount of ag work for farmers. Love representing farmers, and a shout out to our farmers out there.
Yes.
They are wonderful people, and it was a case that was incredibly difficult. It was a hard case to win. It was against the government. I had won in the past for this farmer several times, and we didn't. And it was difficult. It was difficult because I felt we did the right thing every step of the way. And in my case, my farmer was not the smartest, most sophisticated farmer. Had he been smarter, had he been more sophisticated, I think we would have been fine. But the fact that he wasn't, and he was an ordinary farmer doing the best he could with what he knew and what he had, and the government just literally shut him down. And for me, I did everything I could to still lose. That's incredibly painful. I mean, and that was years ago, and it's still to this day
Yeah.
hurts because you try
Yeah.
so hard to do the right thing, and you try so hard
Right.
to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And there's sometimes you can't, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Jody, I'm firing this one at you. Have you ever stayed too long in a job or a partnership, situation, role, anything?
I tend to stay too long, whether it's relationships or jobs.
Yeah, just
Change
wait it
is
out.
hard.
It's so
Change is
hard.
hard.
Yeah. So for me, I'll focus on the job
Yeah.
scenario. So I was in banking for 20 years
'Kay.
and did a lot of really fun things. I even worked with our parent company in Paris. And so I got to take a few trips to Europe. So that was a great time.
Yeah.
Did some leadership courses over there. But being in banking for 20 years, same employer, when I finally, there were so many times where I thought, okay, I could go start this company. I could go work in a different industry. And I stayed because I was scared.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, at the end of the day. And it wasn't until the end of my career when we won an innovation contest that we had no limits. We could move at the speed of thought rather than a slow bureaucratic pace.
Totally different.
And yes, and after doing that for 6 months, I couldn't go back.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to go back into my day job because we had completely stepped out of our day job. And at that point, I'm like, I can't do it. They were offering me, great projects to lead nationally. And it was at that point finally that I walked away, and I was having conversations with my girlfriends. And the interesting thing is the comments that they said were, the best thing I ever did was leaving the bank. And I'm like, what? That's all I know.
Yeah.
Right? So how can that be the best thing? And looking back, it was a fantastic decision, but it was more the fear that was holding me back because I knew the organization. I was in a position where I was safe.
Yeah.
And so taking that leap to make that hard decision, even though like intellectually you may know that that is the right thing to do, emotionally can be very difficult to actually move forward.
So hard. That leap of faith is something you just have to trust and take sometimes.
Yep, the risk.
All right. Well, following suit with every other show, we are going to take a minute for the menopause minute. For today's menopause minute, I'm going to put my dietitian hat on. There's a lot of noise about what women should eat and shouldn't eat in midlife: fasting, protein, carbs, supplements, inflammation, metabolism. So instead of giving you 27 new rules, we'll talk about a few things that you can actually change right now. Here are the headlines. Eat more, not less. If you take one thing away from the menopause minute today, don't start asking, what do I need to stop eating? Ask yourself, what do I need more of? What can I add in? And generally, as Americans, it's fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Protein.
And protein is the big focus too. You might be thinking you're getting enough. So just think about it that way, because I think it's easier to swallow that, no pun intended. What do I need more of now? We do need protein. We got to have that to protect our muscle. Fiber is your friend in more ways than two. Plants for your
Number
heart.
two.
Number
in
two.
particular.
I have a shirt that says that, like any good dietitian would. But that fiber is really good for your cholesterol. It's good for your blood sugar. It's good for your gut. And I know as women, me especially, I'm terrible at drinking milk. I eat yogurt, but I'm never like pouring a glass of milk with my dinner. So trying to get those calcium-rich foods into our bodies, because as we age, that just gets harder. And of course, water. I have a Diet Dew and a water, and I'm really more excited about the Diet Dew that's here. So midlife doesn't have to be another diet. Focus on adding what your body needs. And with that, we're going to come back with some more questions for these ladies. Okay, ladies, we are back. We have been thoughtful. We have been vulnerable. We've shared some wisdom. And I think we've grown enough for 1 hour. So we're going to finish with the part I'm best at. Quick opinions with very little time to reconsider them. I'm going to throw something at you, and I want the first answer that comes to your mind. No overthinking, no disclaimers, no TED Talks. I wish everyone could see how these two are looking at me right now.
Talking to two
my.
analysts.
Let's find out what we really know now. All right. What is the best thing about getting older?
It's definitely not the gray hair. I can tell you that.
I know.
Should we
I
talk
know.
about one? Okay, go.
No period.
It's
It's wonderful. It's
Okay.
wonderful.
It's so good.
Oh,
That
my
is
God.
a
For
great, great answer. Yeah. Okay, how about something you will never do again?
Run a marathon.
Yeah, I love
that's
hearing that
tough.
because I don't like running, and I have a hard time supporting my friends that do.
I would never eat calf brain again.
Oh,
Mm.
where did you have that?
I'll try almost anything once, but it was a square cube, crunchy on the outside, like deep fried,
Oh,
breaded,
anything, yeah.
and the inside was just a hot mush.
Gross.
So
Wow.
yes,
And did you know what it was before you ate it?
yes,
Okay.
I did.
What country were you in?
Yeah.
We were in Paris, France.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is it a delicacy?
apparently, but it's not.
I don't know that you would have
fantastic.
gotten me to
That
even
is
try it.
so wrong.
No,
Yeah.
it
That is
just
so
had no
wrong.
texture. It's just mush. It was.
Mm.
You just ate it really quick, and then you were done. That was the
And
best
then it
way
was
to
over. You
survive
said
that.
you did it and you had
Yes.
your manners.
And then you said never again.
No, I love
Yes.
that. What's one thing that you no longer explain or defend?
My opinion.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can't talk somebody into agreeing with you.
No.
You can certainly support it, but don't defend it. It's who you
Mhm.
are.
Yeah. I'd say my priorities are my schedule. Like I just want to do things when I want to do things.
Right.
And I get all the work done, and if I want to do
Fly to Tokyo.
Yep.
I do it.
right.
Drop of a hat.
yeah.
Well, we were talking about that too. Being empty nesters, you're not picking kids up, driving them around. So it gives you a chance to focus on what you actually want to be doing, which may not be driving the carpool.
Right. And it's something new that it's been 25 years
Yeah.
where we haven't had that freedom. And so
Exactly.
then when you do have that freedom, it's like, oh, I'm like a kid in a candy store now.
100%. And
I can like go see things.
That's
can
better than
do
being
what
a
I
deer
want.
in the headlights, wondering what on
Right.
earth
Exactly.
am
There
I
you go.
supposed to be doing?
Another benefit of age.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, one more. At this point in my life, I know for sure.
That I'm capable.
That was a really good answer.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Winners win.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
think for so many years I always questioned, like, am I good enough? Should I be doing this? You know, the imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And really it took me until probably the last year where I'm like, I'm fully capable. And if I make a decision to do something, I'm capable of achieving that.
That's awesome.
It may not end at the place that I expect it to end,
Right.
you know, because we don't know the future. We don't know how things will turn out. But just having that confidence and mindset.
That's great.
That was a really good
I
answer.
feel like I'm sitting next to Mel Robbins.
Seriously. Like just a baddie over here.
Yes.
I think that's really great.
Oh my God! You need to start having your own talk show. You
Of
and
course I
Michelle.
do.
Yeah.
Winners are winners.
Yep. Okay, what about this one? I just like this, kind of back to friends and what our friends do. Have you gotten better at recognizing who's really your person and maybe who isn't?
Absolutely.
I think that comes with age. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've all had those high maintenance friends.
Yep.
So that's the friend that when you say, "Hey, I'm really having a crappy day," and
Yeah.
your girlfriend's like, "Let me grab a glass of wine and let me just let you talk."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, "Oh, you think your day's bad? Well, you
I
should
can
hear
top
my
that."
day. Yeah, I can top that. Right.
Right.
We don't need the toppers. We just need the listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That can just sit in the muck with you
Yes.
and let you be there for a while. But then also that will say, okay, Michelle, now it's time to move forward.
Yep.
That's
Right?
true. That's true.
Get up. You got to do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, get out of that rabbit hole. You can go down a little ways, but come back
Yeah.
up.
Okay, what about
Yeah.
this one? What's one relationship in your life you appreciate more now than you did 10 years ago?
Relationship.
Yeah.
I would say my husband.
That's a good answer,
We
too.
just celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary.
Wow, congratulations.
And yeah, I can tell you that with age comes certainly that it's a deeper part of love where you have like that support and
Yeah.
and it's unspoken. You don't
Mhm.
talk about it. It's just there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good answer.
Yeah. I would say my parents' support.
Yeah.
As I was
Oh.
younger, my parents have always supported me. But now, as a parent of adult children, I'm kind of where they've been
Yeah.
for most of my life. And I appreciate it even more because I'm parenting adult children.
Yeah.
And there are many times where I just want to say, no, don't do that. And then reflecting on my parents, how even as I was going down crazy paths or
Yeah.
trying different things, they were supportive of whatever that was.
Yeah.
Right. And so doing that myself for my kids, even if I know I'm like, okay, you're starting this business, it might blow up, it may or may not work, but what they'll remember is just that mom supported them through that, regardless of how the decision
And that's
turns
hard,
out.
I think, to kind of
It's
let your
so
adult children,
hard.
like, even if you know, like,
Yes.
you're going to fall, this isn't going to work, to let
Yeah.
them
Let
do it, because it's
them.
ingrained in us to help them. And
To help them to be a protector. And so I always look at what's the worst thing that could happen. Oh, you might move back home and be living on the couch. All right, that's fine,
yeah. Okay, that's really good. All right. This has been great, but we have a call to action, and this is what it is. Ask for something. Ask for the meeting. Ask for the raise. That's hard, I think, as women sometimes.
Oh,
Ask for that raise.
Really hard to ask for money.
Ask the question you think you're supposed to know the answer to. Ask someone how they did it. Ask for help. That's really hard, too.
Mhm.
So do all of those things. Put yourself out there. You're probably helping other people grow as well. So apparently we know some things, and maybe the best part of getting older is realizing we don't have to know everything, just ourselves a little bit better. And I would love to just thank Jody and Michelle for being here with me today and being real. It's hard sometimes to answer these questions on the spot and put yourself out there. So that's awesome. And our thoughts go out to Christy and her family. And have a great weekend. And always remember to take the high road.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.